to Gabbing with Jessa. Today I have another quick, well, it's actually not quick, it's going to be a very long explanation video for you guys. This one isn't necessarily a specific fandom to divide other characters from other fandoms into. I'm still going to be doing that, dividing characters into this. But this is something that actually a lot of people use to help learn more about themselves, and that is a kind of popular conversation topic. I'm getting all kinds of these videos out as quickly as I can because I just want to start dividing characters into these different things, and I'm just so excited. So this is another one of those videos. I'm sorry that's all it's been recently, but yeah, that's what I'm doing. Today we are going to be talking about the different kinds of Myers-Briggs personalities, also known as 16 personalities. You can actually take the test yourself right now on 16personalities.com and figure out which one of these different 16 personalities you are. So what are the Myers-Briggs personality test? What are the 16 personalities? It was created by Catherine Cook Briggs and her daughter Isabel Briggs Myers in the mid-20th century as a way of trying to understand how different people think, how they reacted to things, just how they saw the world compared to others. There are 16 combinations of 4-letter personality types that the website can give you after you've taken the test. And these 16 combinations can actually really help people discover their strengths or their weaknesses. It's just another way, I believe, of finding out more about yourself in a way that can really help you if you are struggling, trying to figure out why you can't accomplish something, why you react a certain way to certain situations. I think it's actually really beneficial for people who are searching for things like that. I take the test myself. I am an ESFJ, and while I don't really personally take too much accountability in that, sometimes it's fun to look up and be like, oh, I guess that makes sense for who I am and why I may do something or react a certain way, and I can really see how helpful this can be for others. Just finding the answers about yourself, I think, can really help people who are struggling, and that makes me happy that this is a way that people can learn more about themselves and help themselves. So like I said, you get a combination of 4 different letters, and each of those letters represents a different category. So with the 4 letters, there's 2 possible options for each one, if that makes sense. This is going to be a very quick, brief explanation of the 4 categories, but if you want any more information on anything that I'm talking about, 16personalities.com is your go-to place. Your first letter is going to be either an E or an I, standing for extroverted and introverted, respectively. Next letter is going to be an S or an N for sensitive or intuitive, respectively. Then F or T for feeling and thinking, respectively. And finally, J and P for judging and prospecting. So you can have one of each of those letters that will give you your combination. Like I said, I am an ESFJ. So the way the test works is that they're going to give you a situation, and you basically range it on a scale of I am most likely to do this or I am most likely not to do this. And it's like one of those, scaled things. In this video, I'm just going to be very quick in describing the 16 personalities, giving each of their strengths, weaknesses, and a few real-world examples of these kinds of personalities. For example, like I've said before, I am an ESFJ, also known as the Consul. So if you've seen my videos before, take that with what you will. If that makes sense, let me know down in the comments below after I explain in fully what that means. Alright, let's get started. First we have the INTJ, also known as the Architect. Their strengths include being rational, informed, independent, determined, curious, and versatile. Their weaknesses include being arrogant, dismissive of their emotions, overly critical, combative, and romantically clueless. Some real-world examples of the Architect include Michelle Obama, Friedrich Nietzsche, Elon Musk, Christopher Nolan, Colin Powell, Vladimir Putin, Samantha Power, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. If you are an INTP, you are known as a logician. Strengths include being analytical, original, open-minded, curious, and objective. Weaknesses may include being disconnected, insensitive, dissatisfied, impatient, and being a perfectionist, but to a fault. In the real world, we see these people embodied in Bill Gates, Kristen Stewart, Rene Descartes, Albert Einstein, Blaise Pascal, Stanley Crouch, Isaac Newton, and Elliot Page. An ENTJ personality is known as the Commander. Their strengths include being efficient, energetic, self-confident, strategic thinkers, charismatic, and inspiring. Some of their weaknesses may include being stubborn, dominant, intolerant, impatient, and arrogant, having a poor handling of emotions, and can sometimes be cold and ruthless. Some real-world examples include Steve Jobs, Gordon Ramsay, Margaret Thatcher, FDR, Jim Carrey, Whoopi Goldberg, Harrison Ford, and Malcolm X. If you're a debater, you might be an ENTP. Your strengths will include being knowledgeable, quick thinking, original, excellent at brainstorming, charismatic and energetic, and some of the weaknesses may include being very argumentative, insensitive, intolerant, finding it difficult to focus, and disliking practical matters. Real-world debaters include Weird Al, Adam Savage, Sarah Silverman, Mark Twain, Tom Hanks, Thomas Edison, Celine Dion, and Sacha Baron Cohen. Now, those last four personalities can be kind of divided under an umbrella, all known as the analysts. The next four that I'm going to talk about all fall under the umbrella of being diplomats. First is the INFJ. This is known as the advocate. Strengths of them include being creative, insightful, principled, passionate, and altruistic. Some weaknesses may include being very sensitive to criticism, reluctant to open up, being a perfectionist, avoiding the ordinary, and primed to burn out. Some real-world examples of the advocate include Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, Mother Teresa, Marie Kondo, Lady Gaga, Nicole Kidman, Morgan Freeman, and Goethe. An INFP personality can be classified as the mediator. Strengths of the mediator include being thoughtful, generous, open-minded, creative, passionate, and loyal to their values. Weaknesses include being self-critical, overly idealistic, impractical, emotionally driven, conflict averse, and being difficult to get to know. So some real-world examples of this are J.R.R. Tolkien, William Shakespeare, Bjork, Alicia Keys, Tom Hiddleston, Julia Roberts, William Wordsworth, and Johnny Depp. If your test gives you a result of an ENFJ, then you are known as the protagonist. Strengths include being tolerant, reliable, charismatic, altruistic, and natural leaders. Some weaknesses are being overly idealistic, too selfless, too sensitive, having a very fluctuating self-esteem, and struggling to make tough decisions. Some real-world examples of the protagonists are Oprah Winfrey, Barack Obama, John Cusack, Ben Affleck, Malala, Sean Connery, Jennifer Lawrence, and Maya Angelou. An ENFP personality is known as the campaigner. The strengths of this personality type include being curious, observant, energetic, enthusiastic, excellent communicators, knowing how to relax, and are very popular and friendly. Some weaknesses include having poor practical skills, finding it too difficult to focus, overthinking things, getting stressed easily, being highly emotional, and being independent to a fault. And some real-world examples include Robert Downey Jr., Robin Williams, Quentin Tarantino, R.M., Russell Brand, Kelly Clarkson, Will Smith, Meg Ryan, and Ellen DeGeneres. So the next four personalities fall under the umbrella of Sentinels. The first personality is an ISTJ, which is known as a logistician, which is different from the first one that we talked about, and I think I pronounced this one right. The strengths found in this personality type includes being honest and direct, strong-willed and dutiful, responsible, like very responsible, calm and practical, creative and enforce order, and basically just being a jack of all trades. Weaknesses include being stubborn, insensitive, always being by the book, judgmental, often unreasonable, and blame themselves very often. Real-world examples include Sting, Denzel Washington, Natalie Portman, Anthony Hopkins, George Washington, Condoleezza Rice, Angela Merkel, and George H.W. Bush. If you have an ISFJ personality, then you are known as the Defender. Strengths include being supportive, reliable and patient, imaginative and observant, enthusiastic, loyal and hardworking, and having good practical skills. Weaknesses include being humble and shy, repressing feelings, overloading themselves, being reluctant to change, and being too altruistic. Real-world examples include Beyonce, Queen Elizabeth II, Aretha Franklin, Vin Diesel, Halle Berry, Kate Middleton, Anne Hathaway, Lance Reddick, and Selena Gomez. The ESTJ personality is known as the executive. Strengths of this personality include being dedicated, strong-willed, direct, and honest, loyal and patient, and reliable, enjoying creating order, and being excellent organizers. The weaknesses include being inflexible and stubborn, uncomfortable with unconventional situations, judgmental, too focused on social status, finding it difficult to relax, and having difficulty expressing emotion. Some real-world examples include Sonia Sotomayor, John D. Rockefeller, Judge Judy, Ella Baker, Frank Sinatra, Laura Linney, James Monroe, and Lyndon B. Johnson. Then we have my personality type, the ESFJ, also known as the Consul. Our strengths include having strong practical skills, a strong sense of duty, being very loyal, sensitive, and warm, and good at connecting with others. Our weaknesses include being worried about social status, inflexible, reluctant to innovate or improvise, vulnerable to criticism, often too needy and too selfless. Real-world examples include myself, Taylor Swift, Jennifer Gardner, Bill Clinton, Steve Harvey, Danny Glover, Jennifer Lopez, Sally Field, and Tyra Banks. So the final personality umbrella include the explorers, and the first in this category are the ISTP personalities, also known as the virtuosos. Strengths include being optimistic and energetic, creative and practical, spontaneous and rational, knowing how to prioritize, being great in crisis, and relaxed in general. Weaknesses include being stubborn, insensitive, private and reserved, easily bored, disliking commitment, and having risky behavior. Some real-world examples are Olivia Wilde, Michael Jordan, Clint Eastwood, Bear Grylls, Mila Jovovich, Danielle Craig, Tom Cruise, and Michelle Rodriguez. If you are an ISFP personality, then you are the adventurer. Strengths include being charming, sensitive to others, imaginative, passionate, curious, and artistic. Weaknesses include being fiercely independent, unpredictable, easily stressed, over-competitive, and having fluctuating self-esteem. Real-world examples include Lana Del Rey, Jungkook, Avril Lavigne, Kevin Costner, Frida Kahlo, Britney Spears, Michael Jackson, Joss Stone, and Jessica Alba. Personality type with ESTP are known as the entrepreneurs. Some of the strengths of this personality type include being bold, rational and practical, original, having good perspective, being direct, and being sociable. Weaknesses include being insensitive, impatient, risk-prone, unstructured, may miss the bigger picture in things, and being defiant. Real-world entrepreneurs include Ernest Hemingway, Nicolas Sarkozy, Jack Nicholson, Eddie Murphy, Madonna, Bruce Willis, Michael J. Fox, and Samuel L. Jackson. And finally, the last personality type of all 16 personalities is the ESFP, which are the entertainers. Strengths include being bold, original, having great aesthetics and showmanship, being practical, observant, and having excellent people skills. Weaknesses include being sensitive, conflict-averse, easily bored, poor long-term planners, and unfocused. Some real-world examples of this include Elton John, Marilyn Monroe, Jamie Foxx, Adele, Steve Irwin, Miley Cyrus, Jamie Oliver, and Adam Levine. So that is all of the 16 personalities from the Myers-Briggs Personality Sorter. Like I said, you can go check out your personality on 16personalities.com. Let me know down in the comments below. I want to know if we have any fellow ESFJs up in here. Like I said, I'll be dividing characters from other fandoms into these personality types as well. These are probably going to take a lot longer to do than some of the other ones, but still, I'm excited for it. Let me know everything, all your opinions, and other sorting mechanisms that you want me to do down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, keep on gabbing.